And let's jump right into it, Zach.
All right.
We are how many weeks into the season now?
4 counting week 0.
It does count. Zero does count.
Yeah, 0 does count for me. I don't understand why people call it week 0. For me, it's week 1.
It started in college, I think.
I think
they
so,
copy
yeah.
everything in high school now. But, all right, we had some weird games. The county continued to struggle. Winston County continued to do well. All right, let's go. What did you think about last week? Anything jump out to you?
What really jumped out to me is Addison had a second easy opponent, and they dominated again. So I think they're rebounding from that Winston County loss. I think they're back on a roll. That was my #1 takeaway from the week.
Yeah, I actually wrote it down here. 141 points to 0 the last 2 weeks.
Oof.
Cherokee and Vina.
Well, those are 2 of the worst teams in the state. I really hope, for the sakes of both of them, that they can get back on track, because I hate to see all these teams playing terrible in our state. But, yeah, Addison's had an easy schedule so far, but I think this is just prepping them for when the schedule gets hard, when they get into the meat of their opponents. I really do think that because of these easy games, they're going to be on a roll later on.
What's crazy is Winston County beat them so bad, and then, yeah, they turn around and blow these teams out. Okay, let's talk about Player of the Week last week. It was Gavin Brown from corner. That means 2 out of 3 weeks has been somebody outside of the county.
Right.
But 17 carries, 323, 4 touchdowns. That kid has 9 touchdowns on the season already.
That is a lot of points that he's scored, and that's just, for corner, that's 2 games. Everyone else has played 3. That's just 2. So that's 4.5 touchdowns a game. That's crazy. He had 5 last week.
Yes.
So, I mean, is this a down week for him? Scoring only 4 is ridiculous to see just how good that these players are doing so far in this season. So it's just, okay, I messed that up.
No, it's fine. All right, so we'll move on from corner, the Player of the Week. But you realize he's on pace. Where's my calculator? 9 touchdowns through, so it's what, 45 touchdowns?
Yeah, it's 45 touchdowns this season. It's a ridiculous amount of touchdowns.
I don't know if he can keep that up. But
I don't
if
know.
he gets to 30, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's very good.
All right, I wrote down here, let's discuss the struggles of Walker County football teams this year.
All right, well,
including Jasper and Sumiton Christian there.
Well, I really don't think Sumiton Christian has struggled. They had a close win against Hubbardsville week 1. Then they had Pickens County, who is one of the best teams in 1A, lost 37-0. So their defense must have done something right, because they've only allowed 51 points to 2 teams that should have been really good this year, and Pickens County, of course, is. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, when you allow just 37 to a team of that caliber and that talent, you really did something right. I mean, you never like to say that's a good loss, but, I mean, if you can only allow 37 points to Pickens County, that's a good loss. Now, I would have liked to see their offense step up a little more. They rely a lot on Cannon D4, and maybe it's bad to put all your faith in one player, but he is really good this season. He is one of the best players in the county, if not the best player in the county so far.
Yeah, that's a good observation there. And at least, some of these other games were not close.
Right.
I mean, I don't even know which one jumps out here. I guess Cordova, that really hurt them.
That was,
to open the region with a loss like that.
Yep.
16 points.
I
hate that.
When you blow 16 points, Shane Smothers has got a lot to work on. I really hope that he's going to get that fixed heading into their next game. They have corner.
It's going to be tough.
That's going to be a very good game, I think, because I do think Cordova's going to be able to rebound fairly well.
That's the highlight of the week, I think.
Oh, yes.
All right, so the county has 5 wins total, and 2 of those came against each other. Do you see any of these teams turning this around?
All right.
Well, you mentioned Cordova.
Right, I did mention Cordova.
I think Dora still can. I think Dora will turn it around.
I think Dora can, yeah. They have Haleyville. I think that's going to be a really good game. I think that could be a Kidd County win this week. Jasper's got Fairfield. They're both 0-3. Jasper, they're on the road. If they can pull something off, that could also be an attempt to kind of turn things around for our Walker County schools. We have Sumiton Christian hosting Lynn. That is a Walker versus Winston County. Winston County teams have shown, Walker County teams have not. This is good head-to-head because it looks like the team with the best record in Walker County facing the team with the lowest record in Winston County. Even though 1-1 for Lynn, that's good, and they're still the lowest ranked team in Winston County. So I think that's going to be a really good head-to-head matchup.
Yeah, they kind of jumped out last week. Alabama Christian coming all the way to Lynn. That was not good. So the large school, and Lynn has a chance to turn that around this week. All right, let's talk about the power rankings, what we have this week. Now, last week, we had Meek first.
Meek was first last week, yeah.
We're thinking that again.
Yeah,
but let's start at number 5. Who do you have at 5 this year?
I've got the Eagles of Sumiton Christian. Like I said, they lost 37-0 to Pickens County. But I do believe that they are still a prime contender to make the playoffs and go deep. I had them 4 last week. I'm dropping them a spot because of that loss, but I'm not going to take them completely out of my power rankings.
I think Lynn will beat them.
You do?
I think Lynn will beat them this week. I have Cordova, which, that devastating loss. They really should be 2-1 this week.
Yeah, they should be.
They are 1-2, but, when a team hasn't won much, they haven't won in 4 years.
Right.
These players. Once they get that win like this, which they really needed, once they get that win, I think they'll be going in the right direction. I still got them making the playoffs. What about number 4?
Number 4, I have Corner, and the reason I don't have them higher is because I'm waiting to see how they'll do against your number 5, Cordova. If they can beat Cordova, I do believe they'll be a lot higher than number 4. Gavin Brown, he had the 4 touchdowns. If he can shine against Cordova, that's going to be a win. I do think that Corner is heading up. I had them 5 last week. They're 4 this week. Next week, who knows?
Maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
I have Addison there. Like we said earlier, 72-0. It's really hard to tell. These teams are so bad. They played a good team and lost. They played 2 terrible teams and won. Let's see how they do. Good Hope, Meek.
Right.
But I have them 4th. What about number 3?
For number 3, I have the Addison Bulldogs, and I'm looking forward to seeing them play Hackleburg. Hackleburg has not won a game this season, but they are not the likes of Vina and Cherokee. This could be a challenge for Addison. If Addison can blow Hackleburg out of the water like they've been blowing out these 2 teams in the past week, then Addison, I know, is for real an excellent team. If they cannot perform against Hackleburg, we still don't know where they're at this point.
Yeah, that's a big game. Good test for them. I have Corner in that spot, which you mentioned before. Have a really good quarterback, too, Landon Peterson. They have really, they are scoring. We know Brown has a lot of touchdowns, but the whole team is scoring like crazy. Let's see if they can keep that up this week. Okay, what do you got at number 2?
Number 2, I have the Winston County Yellow Jackets. They traveled to Carbon Hill, which no matter how good Carbon Hill is or how bad they are, Carbon Hill is always a tough place to play. For Winston County to go in there and win 38-14, I think that showed that they have some real grit. So I think Mark Mitchell is turning that team in the right direction. It's a complete 180, and they are on the way up.
5-5 last year, already 3-0 this year, and they've looked really good.
They have.
That's who I also have it too. What can you say? That they just run the ball. They're going to run it, and they're going to run it down your throat. It's going to work.
It did against Carbon Hill.
Yes. All right, and I think we were both the same on number 1 here.
Yeah, it's Meek. Meek is. This is the best team. This is the best Meek team that I have ever seen. I'm going to go ahead and say that. They could win the state championship. They are that good.
Who would ever think that?
I would have not thought that 2 years ago when they were 1-9 in 2019 and 0-10 in 2020, I believe.
That's right.
I just would not have thought that we were going to be sitting here saying that.
Who would think Powell takes that job? Well, it's a tough place to win.
It is.
And then the guy immediately turns them around like this. It's crazy. But 3-0 and probably will be a while till they lose.
If you'd have told me that Meek was going to be the top of my power rankings, if you'd told me that 2 years ago, I'd have said, you're crazy. You were crazy to say that Meek and Winston County are going to be the top 2 teams in the Walwyn area. But here we are.
Yeah. The Winston County looks really, really good. Okay, let's talk about some games coming up this week. A lot of these have already moved to Thursday.
Yeah.
So, we're recording this on Tuesday, and a lot of these, I think 5 have already moved.
5
It's supposed to rain Friday. But, all right, let's start with Jasper. Jasper at Fairfield, 0-3 against 0-3. What do you think?
The only reason I have the Fairfield Tigers winning this is home field advantage. I think if it was at Cairo Gamble Field, I think Jasper would have picked up their first win because Fairfield is not good. They are not a good team, but just home field advantage is really important. Jasper's been traveling a lot to Birmingham this year. They have more Birmingham teams on their schedule. That is really tough to have to go into the big city like that and pull off wins.
This is a Cordova schedule from last year.
Yes.
Jasper dropping to 5A, I thought they'd have some success. It's been a struggle, really has.
Yeah.
The defense has really, really struggled. I'm also going Fairfield. I'm going to wait till Jasper shows me something before I pick them.
Right.
Okay, game 2, Dora at Haleyville. It's a big one in that region.
Yeah, Haleyville. This is the second week in a row they get a team from East Walker County. I think that they're going to figure that Dora's like Cordova, and they're going to blow a big lead. I don't think Dora's going to do that. I think Dora's going to be able to go out here and get a close win at Haleyville.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, Cordova should have beat them. Dora needs a win like this too.
They do.
They've
really
lost so many games like this over the last couple of years. This is what will make the difference between hosting a game or coming in fourth in the region. All right, this is a tough one for Curry. Northside at Curry. Northside, I think, won a lot of region championships. I think 4 out of the last 5.
Yeah, I mean, we can go on to the next pick here because Northside they are probably one of the most consistent teams in within 5 counties. You can go 5 counties, north, south, east, west. They are probably one of the most consistent teams in that area.
They're going to win double digits every year. Yeah, that's a tough one for Curry. Probably the biggest game of the ones we've mentioned so far have been moved to Thursday for sure. The next one's Corner at Cordova, probably the biggest game of the week. If we had both helmets, if we had a helmet for game of the week, those two would
definitely be sitting right here. Yeah.
But I'm taking Cordova.
Well, you've certainly got more guts than I do. I'm sticking with the proven in Corner. This is at Cordova at Kirby Hudson Stadium. This is a chance for Cordova to put their home field advantage to a test. I just think Corner's too good. If they can run the ball, they can throw the ball, they can do anything. Their defense has looked good. This is not the Corner team we've been used to seeing who's going to go 5-5 every year. This is the one that's going to be hosting games in the playoff. I've got the Yellow Jackets.
Wow. Now, it's really helped them dropping 5-4.
It has.
Cordova also dropping 5-4.
It's really helped both of them.
Yeah, Corner is finally playing teams they should. Now, they're in that pit. You know, crazy things happen in that pit. Yeah. Cordova really needs it. I mean, after losing last week especially. Okay, Oakman at Tarrant. I'm thinking Oakman's going to be 2 in a row for them.
Yeah, I do. I will not. I'm not going to pick Tarrant unless they show me something because Tarrant, I got to see them in person last year. Not impressed in the least. They have determination. They have fight. They have grit. They just need to get their ducks in a row before they can start winning games.
They actually won a game this year.
They did win a game. I
think it was Talladega County Central.
It was, Talladega County Central.
Sumiton Christian plays later this year.
Do they? I did not know that.
And the Cordova game is now Thursday too. So okay. Oakman Tarrant is still on Friday.
They're still going for Friday. Okay, it's at Tarrant, so I don't know if the weather's going to be different in Jefferson County.
Right. All right, so Fayette County at Carbon Hill, this is 3-0 against 0-2. Fayette County is off to a really good start.
Fayette County is off to a really good start. I did not think Fayette County was going to be good this year, but they have really impressed me. Carbon Hill, they've struggled with depth and linebacker core. That really hurt them against Winston County, who ran the ball down their throat all game long. I've got Fayette County winning big here. Like I said, Carbon Hill's got home field advantage. Crazy things can happen at Carbon Hill, too. I remember a few years ago, the 10th-ranked team in 5A traveled there. Got shut out 16-0. That was Chavis Williams facing his alma mater at Dora. So we never know what's going to happen, but I've got the Tigers here.
Yeah, I do too. I saw them against Cordova.
Yeah, you saw them against
Cordova. Yeah, they look really good. Okay, next game is Lynn at Sumiton Christian. It's another big region game.
It is.
I mean, Sumiton Christian's already played 2 region games, and this will be Lynn's second region game, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking Lynn in this one. I think they're really improved, and last week was kind of, nobody in the county could have beat that team they played. But at Sumiton Christian, this will be back to their level.
I've got Sumiton Christian in this one. I believe that the Eagles are going to be able to pull one out, and I love seeing this the region teams that are in the area. I love seeing that for a region game. For the past few years, we've had teams sharing regions like Carbon Hill and Oatman, and I'm sure plenty of others. Addison and Meek are in the same region this year, I do believe.
That's right.
So I really love watching all these in-county or Walker versus Winston County games where it's region. I do have Sumiton Christian winning this one, though. I have them close.
You like Kanan DeFore?
I do. I saw him play against Hubbardsville. He is the real deal.
And aren't you winning the picks? So I think you're winning our picks for the weeks. So, yeah. All right, so our next to last game here is Hackleburg at Addison. Well, let's go to that one first. Addison coming off those 2 big wins. I'm thinking that'll be 3 in a row.
I really do think it's going to be 3 in a row as well. Hackleburg is not proven. Like I said, they're winless. They're not as bad as the past 2 teams Addison's played, though. So I think they're going to give Addison a fight for the first part of the game, but Addison's just going to run away with it at the end. So I have the Bulldogs winning by, I would say, 3 touchdowns.
They will run. Addison will
Oh,
run.
yes.
That's one thing that you know that's going to happen. All right, I skipped over this one. Winston County at Sulligent, which is maybe the second biggest game in the area.
Oh, yes, if not the first biggest
Now,
game.
you saw Sulligent.
I did see.
opening week?
I've seen both of these teams in person. I saw Sulligent as they took down Oakman, and Winston County last week taking down Carbon Hill.
Wow.
I was really impressed with both teams. I am looking forward to this game, and I think that if this game were in Double Springs, it would be Winston County. Since it's in Sulligent, I have the Blue Devils winning this one, just because of home field advantage. Though they are 2 evenly matched teams, they're both 2A. Winston County's coming up from 1A. Sulligent, I think, is dropping from 3A. So there are 2 teams going in opposite directions. Winston County's going up in terms of attendance. Sulligent's going down. I do believe Sulligent's going to win this, though. I was very impressed how they played Oakman. Oakman, they beat Oakman by 18 points.
Yeah, I was surprised.
It could have been a lot more, though. It really could have.
And see, I went Oakman that game, and I'm going Winston County. I apparently do not like Sulligent.
You don't like Sulligent.
I haven't seen them. But I'm going Winston County in that, so it's another game we have different.
Right.
Okay, the last one, this is kind of a weird matchup. Colbert Heights at Meek. This is because R.A. Hubbard shut down. They had to pick up somebody. They pick up Colbert Heights. And that's a 3A.
Yeah, they were a playoff team. They made it to the first round, lost at Oakman. I was there for that game as well. I was impressed with Colbert Heights, too. I mean, they're a good team, but Meek is just too good. I mean, Colbert Heights, all the respect in the world for them, they don't have a chance. They're outmatched. I mean, this is a 3A team, yes, so that might be their only hope is having more players. But Meek is a very big 1A school, so I don't know if they're going to have more players than Meek. I think that the Tigers are going to be able to pull this one out pretty big.
Right. It's going to take something big for me to pick against Meek. The way they beat Maplesville in that opener.
Right. That was probably the most shocking game of the season for me, watching them beat Maplesville like that.
36-12.
Wow.
Yeah, it was rare, to put it that way. Okay, we'll close here with some Alabama and Auburn talk. What did you think of Auburn's opener? Did you get to watch any of it?
I did not get to watch any of it. I did see some highlights, though.
There were some highlights, a couple.
There were a few, yeah.
But they had that long rain delay, and now it seems like there is maybe a quarterback
There is a
controversy,
quarterback competition there,
which
yeah.
could, I mean, I said last year, if TJ Finley is a starter, they will win 3 games. I said, well, he was injured at the end of last year.
Yeah, he was real banged up.
He was injured, but now he's healthy, and he still doesn't look very good.
He is not as good. I think if Bo Nix would have stayed, Auburn would be in a better position. Now, Bo Nix, he did not look good against Georgia, but then has anybody really looked good against Georgia? They made Bryce Young look like your average quarterback.
They made him look
in
like
that
Bo Nix.
in that national championship game. I don't know if they made him look like Bo Nix, but they really have found out how to handle these upper tier quarterbacks. As for Auburn, they have some competition. You were talking about their backup quarterback, which is Robbie Ashford. I did see one highlight of him throwing a block downfield. He looked like an offensive lineman with that pancake. That's what really stood out to me, is in his speed too, getting down there. He outran the running back down there. So I think that we're going to see Ashford play against San Jose State. I don't think that he'll start though. I'm wondering, Zak Calzada transfers from Texas A&M expecting to win the starting job. Now he's down to the number 3 quarterback. Not really where he wanted to be. I am surprised we have not seen him play yet.
Has not played, I mean, you can't even beat out Ashford.
Yeah.
You're supposed to win the job.
Yeah, you were supposed to win.
Everybody thought, hey, this is a starting quarterback.
Yeah, because everyone was looking at the Alabama game that Zak Calzada beat Alabama. TJ Finley did not. But Finley wins the starting job. Ashford is second.
Something will happen here.
Something's going to happen. Somebody's going to emerge as a true and clear starter. I just don't know who it's going to be at this point.
Finley throws 2 more interceptions this week. It'll probably be pretty obvious.
Yeah, when you throw 2 interceptions.
Against Mercer.
I mean, against Mercer, yeah. Mercer is they're a good team for the Southern Conference. They're average in the Southern Conference, average to above average. But if you're an SEC team that's going to try to compete for an SEC championship year in and year out, you can't throw 2 interceptions.
Let's just get to a decent bowl game.
Yeah, get out of the Birmingham Bowl, get back to the Outback Bowl.
Let's get to Nashville.
Get to Nashville.
I'll take Nashville's the next step. Right?
Nashville's the next step. Then you get Citrus, then Outback, then you're into the New Year's 6 games. Yeah. So Auburn's just climbing up the ladder, I think. I think they're going to be a little better this year than they were last year.
We'll know soon.
We will know soon. And if Brian Harsin can make it through the season, I do believe that they're going to be dangerous towards the end.
That would help. They really need to keep him.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how he does, just don't get an interim coach. Just let your regular coach be there the whole season.
That never goes well. Interim coach never works. All right, well, talk about Alabama. You were there, 55-0. It was just absolute domination.
Yeah, I'm proud of the second-team defense for Alabama because Utah State had the ball in the red zone, I think, twice. Red zone are real close, and they held twice. Texas, I don't think, has enough firepower to beat Alabama this week. Texas is a good team. I'm trying to think of a game in the past that's going to compare to this. I've got Alabama Ole Miss from last year. It's going to be similar. Everybody was talking about its assistant, who they think can beat Saban. Yeah, and then I don't think Sarkisian's going to ask you to get your popcorn ready, though. I think he's learned from that. But I do think that Alabama's going to be good this year. You have written down here what teams can challenge them. The team that I think is going to challenge them the most is surprisingly Arkansas.
Arkansas.
That's on the regular season. I do think that Georgia in the SEC championship is going to be the most challenging of the season. No matter who they get in the playoffs or bowl game or wherever they might end up, that's going to be the most challenging game.
But you know the $1 Million Band is not going to.
Yeah, I heard that. Where they were
going to stick them in the upper deck.
Stick them in the upper deck. That's what they did to the Kansas band.
Really sad.
Yeah, they did that to the Kansas band last year, and Kansas came in and beat them in overtime, and the band sounded like they were on the field how loud they played.
Alabama was not going to do that.
No, I mean, you can't. That's an enormous band. The $1 Million Band's got 400 people in it.
Wow.
That is too big to put in the upper deck.
That seemed very Bush League to me, but yeah that's going to be an ugly game.
I do think so, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Auburn, hopefully San Jose State will be an ugly game.
I think it might be close at the beginning. It's certainly not going to be like the Georgia State game last year. Certainly nowhere like that. South Carolina found out what it's like to play Georgia State, though. That was an embarrassing game for the SEC. I will go ahead and say that last week. But I do think Auburn's going to end up running away with it against San Jose State.
All right. Hey, well, thanks for being here again.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for having me.
And thanks for tuning in to the Prep Zone show, sponsored by Bevill State Community College. We'll see you next week.